Hey everyone, this is The First Word presented by Dr. Pepper. Welcome into the Academy Sports and Outdoor Studio. Cowboys win. They finished 10-6 on the season. Nate Newton, Brian Broaddus. This guy, I just can't contain him right now. What do you need to say? What do you need to say?
We took the NFC East by storm. We was 3-5, and all of a sudden we're 10-6. It's a game that didn't matter. We went and did it without Zeke. We did it without the hammer. We did it without the air hammer. The nails came in and did the job. We nailed this thing shut.
Is that all?
We nailed the coffin shut.
Is
what
that
do you
all?
think, Broaddus?
I think it's amazing that you just are so excited about this.
I am.
Yeah.
I didn't write down nothing during the pregame.
No
I didn't
notes.
write down nothing during the game.
No notes.
Did you watch the game?
27-44. Dak had one of his better days. Over 300 yards passing, 4 TDs. Blake Jarwin came up out of his shell, 3 touchdowns. Look at here, Cole Beasley saved the game. Knee down, equals 2 feet.
The set is
I'm loving it.
shaking. The set is shaking. Cowboys in the playoffs.
Yeah.
A lot of points scored today. Nate felt like this was the Super Bowl. I'm not on that level, but
I am.
you are, and I love it about you, Brian.
Yeah.
You expect Dak Prescott to play the whole game today? I sure did.
I really didn't.
Yeah. What was that about?
No, but talking to people all week about practice and the way the practice went, though, the Cooper Rush got no extra reps. It was his normal Friday reps. So Jason Garrett had planned on him playing the lion's share of this game. Well, he played the whole game, and he brought you back. And, he was the reason why you won this game. Him and then Blake Jarwin, the ability for him to get open. We've kind of talked about it all year long. Who was going to be the tight end? Ever since the Jeff Swain has gone down, these tight ends have elevated their game and still have a work in progress a little bit on the block and stuff. But if you look what Blake Jarwin was able to do, getting down the field the way he was and take advantage of the middle of the field for the against the Giants, I think that's quite impressive from him.
You wanted to see some of the things that our quarterback can do. Can he improve? Can he move around? Today, what impressed me more about Dak than any time during the year, Broaddus, he moved around within the pocket. He made some timely throws. The receivers was on page with him most of the day. So, it's some things to be excited about. Yeah, game don't count for as improving your stock for in the playoff seeding. But this right here is what we needed to see from this guy going into the postseason.
Well, what's amazing, you talk about some of the moving around was a lot has to do with the fact that you're missing 3 offensive linemen. We're missing 2 offensive linemen, 2 starters, missing Smith, and then missing
good
Martin.
rollout. Good. Look at the reason I'm saying
I
this
liked it.
is because in the playoffs, you're gonna have to move around. Your quarterback gonna have to make some plays, and anything that can get Dak some momentum and get that clock back in his head to move around, that will help him. That excites me.
Well, no, that's one of the things we've talked about him all along, though, was his ability to make throws on the move.
Right.
That's people are saying, oh, how do you get Dak Prescott more involved? Well, okay, the RPOs, get him involved in the game right there, and they were able to do that. I mean, he made some incredible throws today.
What, at 387 yards?
Yep, absolutely.
4 TDs, no interception, 4 sacks. And it wasn't, they got him today. It wasn't like he stood back there just as a statue. 120, come on, man. Y'all ain't excited?
No, I'm excited.
I liked what I saw.
Okay.
It was just different.
I love what I saw.
I'll tell you what I was most impressed about was the final stop for the defense, because that could have been really ugly. After they get the penalty with Antoine Woods going on the field for taunting and have to kick off. They haven't covered a kick all day long, and they have the ball near midfield, and the Giants not get another yard after that says a lot about what this defense. And again, a lot of the starters not out there. Some backup guys playing big roles in there to preserve the win. Rojas, the kicker they have, he's a Pro Bowl kicker. Very well could have moved the ball in field goal range, and then right there, boom, that thing could have done it for you.
I bet you Tay loving me.
You're right. You want to check in with her?
I want to check in. I bet you Tay
Taylor
loving me.
Stern, what are you feeling?
Nate is bringing the energy today. Just needed this all year long. Lindsay and I were here when the Eagles won, Nate, and you were not even that excited.
I'm excited now, young lady.
The big Eagles win. Well, Bobby Belt has a tweet, guys, about Dak Prescott. With 22 touchdown passes on the year now, he joins Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck as the only quarterbacks in NFL history with 22-plus touchdown passes in each of their first 3 seasons. Well, 3 of those go to our guy Blake Jarwin today. You got to love it. You got to love that the tight end is doing something that Jason Witten didn't do during his time here.
It's good. It's good to get the new faces involved. Do we have Jason Garrett? No? Okay, let's go out to MetLife and check in with Nick Eatman and Rob Phillips. This is the first word. Let's hear from these guys.
Thanks, Lindsay. Meaningless, huh?
Wow.
This was a playoff atmosphere at the end of the game here at MetLife Stadium. Good crowd for the Giants. Thought they had it. One of the best games we've seen Dak Prescott play, and he played the whole game, Nick.
Yeah, that was a kind of a surprise. We didn't know when Zeke was out and the two linemen how much he would play. But we talked about it on the sidelines. He just kept coming back all game long and found new guys. I mean, Blake Jarwin now, was he the greatest tight end in the NFL? I mean, that was unbelievable. He was great in that game, and Beasley all day long. You talked about a great crowd there at the end. A lot of Cowboy fans here, and they were trying to say, quiet please, offense at work, and they weren't having any of that. You said it was a great atmosphere, and they wanted to win this game. I like the going for two. You had a great point. Don't keep this game going any longer here.
And because they kind of won in both ways. It appears that there were no serious injuries to the Cowboys. Leighton Vander Esch got shaken up. It looked like he was okay.
Yeah.
So that's the other part of this, is that going into the playoffs, you seem to be fairly healthy, and you rested some guys too.
Right. I mean, every drive it looked like we were looking at the end going, all right, is Dak coming in for this or not? And he just kept coming back there. But Suafilo, he looked like he was okay. As he actually just walking off now, doesn't look very okay. He's kind of limping. But I think in a week he would be okay. And obviously, like you said, Vander Esch, he did return at one point in special teams, so I think he's fine. But wow, unbelievable game. Dak just all day long just kept fighting, and did it with an offensive line that was really banged up.
And you said it, Jason Garrett, they wanted to play the right way. They wanted to win the game. When you think about it, shut out in Indy, and then the week ago, they had 6 drives of 5 plays or fewer. I think this offense wanted some more time on the field to get it right.
Yeah, without a doubt. And 10-6 is much different than 9-7, just from a psychological standpoint. But getting some momentum going into the playoffs, and they definitely got some momentum. They worked on red zone things. They did well there, and maybe Blake Jarwin is an option for this team, a little bit more. And now that he's coming on,
Cowboys heading back home with 10 wins. Back to Lindsay and the crew.
Guys, time to get on that bus and get warm. Be safe coming home. What do you guys think about Jason Garrett playing so many starters for the entirety of the game?
Well, no, that's consistent to what he's talked about, and that's consistent to what he's done. And, he played the guys that were healthy. He was a man of his word. And he said, hey, if you're injured, you're not going to play. Stephen Jones told us in the pregame show, though, and Nick Eatman asked him the question, why no Zach Martin? Why no Tyron Smith? Why no Ezekiel? These guys were banged up, but everybody else that could line up and play, Jason Garrett went out there and played him. And, it was important for him to win this game. It was important for him to have that type of attitude that they were going to play all the games. He said it before. He goes, you only get 16 of these, and you got to go out and try and win them all, though. I tell you what, there's times where I said, I thought he was risking Dak Prescott, especially with some of the sacks and stuff. But, to him, he was a man of his word. He went out and wanted to win the game. He did exactly that.
He said all week, Dak said all week that I'm going to play. I believe that you should play. That he said back when they played Green Bay a couple of years ago, he said that he was rusty. Well, you won't be rusty this week, young man, because you went out and you stayed with your team. And I think that's some of the things that endear his teammates to him, is he's willing to get in the fire and do that right there. I didn't want him to play the whole game. Zeke wasn't there, but you know what Amari Cooper played. Beasley played harder than I ever seen him play. Blake Jarwin did what he had to do. Boy, you're no longer snake bit, man. You Jaws, baby. You bring it down the rock in a big way. I love you. I love you when you go out and play with me.
Are you proclaiming your love for Blake Jarwin?
Oh, I got to, man.
That's all you got to do is play a touchdown and you get love from
Call him
Big
Snake
Nate.
Bit. How long did you call him Snake Bit?
I called him Snake Bit until Kurt called him out into his face, and then he started catching balls, and now he's everything but that.
Last few weeks, though, he's been
Yes.
good. That's what I'm saying. The tight end play has gotten better on this football team.
Much better.
What you would think would be something that they've, that all year long we have struggled. But the tight end play, again, I go back to Jeff Swain. You figure when Swain got hurt, that all of a sudden things would go downhill, but these young guys have picked it up. Even Rico Gathers has picked it up as well, doing some things, helping as a blocker. But maybe now you found something in the red zone with a guy like Blake Jarwin. That's what this team needs. It needs somebody else that could find space and get open down there in the red zone, and Blake Jarwin proved that today.
Tay Stern, what you got?
Des Bryant tweet. We've been missing these guys, haven't we? I mean, obviously it's his guy Beasley, but crazy catch indeed. We were all here watching the game, and guys, I have to tell you, I didn't think at first it was a touchdown until they did that replay. 1 knee equals 2 feet. Remember that math, everybody who's in school. I mean, Cole Beasley making his presence known when it counts.
Well, and what's even better about the play was that, John Madden taught us a long time ago, the old guys,
That's right.
DNA, that 1 knee equals 2 feet. So the young folks are here coming along. Welcome along. But I'll tell you what, though, the extension that Beasley, I thought when the ball was first thrown, I thought there was no way that Beasley was going to be able to extend. And for him to get his body completely out, that's a play like a guy like Cooper would make, or Gallup or Hearns, somebody that's got some reach. But the ball was in a perfect spot. Here's Prescott rolling out of his way to throw this football, and Beasley tracking it. That's what you got to have in his football intelligence to get that knee down as quickly as possible.
He knew he had to get something down, man.
Quick.
He arced that knee, man.
Yeah.
At 5'2", he arced that knee.
Should we check in with Jason Garrett?
Hey, do what you got to do. The
All
coach,
right.
I'll talk better than the coach, though. I promise.
Nate.
I'll talk better than the coach. I just made you.
Check in and hear what head coach Jason Garrett at the podium right now.
The play was and what you saw of it.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty remarkable play by our quarterback and our receiver, and obviously they put some pressure on him. He had to get out of the pocket, and Dak does such a great job moving in the pocket, does such a great job keeping his eyes up and making those throws on the run. And sometimes people get down, hey, he takes sacks, but one thing you have to understand when you have a movement quarterback like that, there's a lot of good plays that he makes too, and certainly that was as good a play as I've ever seen him make. And Bees made a big time catch on the other end of it.
Your thoughts on how the offense looked overall today?
Yeah, I thought we did some good things offensively. I thought we threw it really well. I thought we were productive. Blake Jarwin obviously was big for us, cashing in down in the red zone. Dak just made a number of big plays throughout. It was good in the quick game, good when he had to move around and make some plays, and he just made some signature plays throughout. So, and made the critical moments made the critical plays at the critical moments.
The decision to go to overtime, was that mainly because of this game, or just kind of the feel of the game, how it was going?
Yeah, I just felt like it was the right thing to do. We're going to play a game next week, and let's go win it right now. And again, one more time, he makes a big-time play, extends that play, keeps it alive, and Gallup finishes it off.
You didn't have a timeout. Did that review give you guys a chance to kind of come up with something or figure out a play right there?
Well, we have 2-point plays ready that we prepare all week long, all year long. So we have a few of them that we like, and you talk about which one you like best, and you go execute it. And Dak liked that one and did a hell of a job executing and finishing the job.
In a lot of ways, the strategic decision you made to go with Dak all game, especially when you didn't have 2 of your Pro Bowl offensive linemen. Can you talk about the organization's decision on why that made sense to go with him this whole game and put him back?
It was just our decision. We wanted him to play. We wanted our guys to play. And if guys weren't healthy or banged up, we're going to keep them out of the ball game, but everybody else was going to play. We wanted to practice well, and we wanted to play well in this ball game. And it was a far from perfect game. We'll go back and find plenty of things we got to get better at on offense, defense, and in the kicking game. We recognize that. But I'll tell you what, the relentless spirit of this football team showed up and played 60 minutes, handled some success, handled some adversity, kept coming back, and did what we needed to do to win.
From a confidence standpoint, how big was this for your offense? Just to put up the points and Dak would cry.
Yeah, again, you just want to go play well every time you have an opportunity, and it was a far from perfect effort from us, but we did have a few different guys playing, some different combinations up front, different combinations in the backfield, and just it was a good opportunity to go out and try to get better and practice the right way this week, and a number of great opportunities to improve throughout the ball game. Did a good job finishing this thing.
There was a lot of emotion out there in what was billed in some quarters as a meaningless game. What was the feeling on the sideline? How caught up in this whole thing were you guys?
Yeah, that might be for people outside of our building, talking about the meaningful or meaningless nature of a game. They're all very meaningful to us. It's an opportunity for us to improve as a football team, to finish strong, to have some momentum going into the playoffs. So again, our objective this week was to practice well and go play well and win a ball game. Our guys did a good job executing that.
And wrapping it, right?
All right, guys, we are going to go back now into the locker room and hear from the game winner, Cole Beasley.
We just got to take it one day at a time, work as hard as we can, put our best foot forward, and then put our best ball out there every Sunday, because it's either one and done or want to keep going.
How much do you like the idea to go for 2? Either way, it's going to end in regulation.
Oh, no question. If we can end it then, even if it wasn't this game, we were in the playoffs. As an offense, that's what you want to do. We got the confidence in our guys out there to make plays. Anytime we have a chance to win it, let's win it now.
In terms of playing the full game, you being out there to the very end as well as Dak, how important was that for you guys in terms of continuing that performance?
This is what we do. We play football, so us being out there, we signed up for a 16-game season, so we want to finish it off right and put our best foot forward to go into the playoffs.
Do you guys view it as worth the risk?
There's a risk in practice, so what's the difference? You might as well go out there and play. Go out there and play. Like I said, that's what we signed up for. We're football players. That's what we do.
All right, there he goes, Cole Beasley. We pretty much know how playoffs is going to go, but we are going to stay here. We're going to watch the game, figure it out with Seattle and Arizona, right?
Absolutely.
How you feeling now? Home game. Nate, what is the expectation for this team?
Win the playoff game. Regardless of who it's against, we'll be here watching it. Cole Beasley, you a beast, man. Blake Jarwin, you a beast, baby. Keep rocking.
Yeah, I think Dallas is prepared any way it goes.
Yes.
I feel like, though, that coming home on this plane, that they'll probably have those Seattle cut-ups ready to roll right now. And, that Seattle losing to Arizona at home would be unheard of, really, to be honest with you, the way that Arizona's been playing. So, I would be preparing for Seattle right now. I think the pro personnel guys have got reports ready, and then also the coaches have got cut-ups ready. Seattle will be the team. We just need to know the time and the date.
All right, Taylor Stern, final check-in.
Got the mic drop right here from Todd Archer. He just lets you know what is up. The Cowboys enter the playoffs having won 7 of their last 8 games. With their improbable win against the New York Giants, Dak Prescott threw a career-high 4 touchdown passes and was not intercepted, all while playing without Ezekiel Elliott, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith. Very impressive, and I think that is the playoff momentum you want to have.
Definitely playoff mentality right there. Everybody in till the last play of the game, final stats. Not that, I don't want to say this is meaningless or doesn't matter, but does anything you're carrying with you from these guys?
Yeah, the third down conversions have been, and this has been a team that has, through the past, since the winning streaks and stuff, they've gotten a lot better about that. The one turnover, though, that was unfortunate. That was a big hit right there, that Cooper took. And, but give the Cowboys some credit. They had kind of a little bit of a makeshift offensive line, able to move the football. Didn't run the ball exceptionally well, but what they did was their quarterback played outstanding today, and their receivers did a great job, and then their tight end, of course, made huge plays all day.
And that is what will win you playoff games. If you're at certain times in the game, your quarterback has to put the team on his back. He has to make plays. He has to make plays, be it by ground or by air. And that's what separates all of the playoff quarterbacks. That's what we'll be talking about 5 years from now. How many playoff games have this cat won, meaning Dak Prescott? That's what it's all about.
All right, guys, great post-game reaction. We are looking ahead to playoffs. We'll have more reaction for you later on this evening after those 3:30 games, but enjoy the week, and we'll see you next week for playoffs.